I'm Leather Rock. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm posting this the day that I'm filming it, and it's a late post because I've been having problems being harassed by this guy when I'm playing guitar. 2 days in a row. First day, uh, I was out there and this guy started singing really loudly at two staircases away, and he was coming up to people and he was asking them for money, and it was really getting on my nerves because, first of all, I don't think there's room for two music people that close together. Second of all, when you're actually actively soliciting people, you're making everybody else who's playing music or otherwise not bothering people look bad. And it got so bad that I actually had to get somebody to pretend to be my husband, so that they would stop bothering me, because this guy was trying to say that we should join forces, that I should play and let him sing, and we should split the money. And then I was saying no, I wasn't interested in doing that. This guy was an R&B and soul singer, if you get my drift. And then he was saying that he wanted to date me, and I was saying I'm not interested, and if you keep on bothering me, I'm going to get my husband. And as a rule, I never fake being in a relationship just to deflect unwanted advances. But I was really getting desperate at this point. And finally, some guy who I know showed up, and I grabbed him and I gave him a big hug and I said, play along with me. And I told him that this guy was bothering me and everything. So this guy that I was talking to happens to have been a former Los Angeles County sheriff. So he flagged down some police officers, or maybe he had a cell phone and he called them, I don't know. But some cops showed up, and the cops first took me aside and asked me if the guy that was bothering me put his hands on me. And I said, no, he didn't. They said they'll make him move down the road, but they asked me if I wanted to press charges. And I didn't want to be an asshole about it, so I said no. So the cops made him move on down the road. Okay. So then yesterday, I went back to my usual spot, and the same guy was there. And this time, instead of singing, he was just flat out asking people for money. He was coming up to people and bothering them, people leaving the casino and people uh, going to the casino. And basically, before people could even hear me playing or see that I was playing, he was coming up to people begging them for money. And I was like, I'm not having it. And I noticed some police that were down near this particular pier, and I decided that I would go and report this gas leak. I'd been smelling this really funny smell, and it turned out, by the way, that they found a dead body there, really close to where I was. So, in other words, I just learned that dead human bodies smell like leaking gas. I didn't know that. But as an aside, this time they really didn't help me when that guy was bothering me. I can guess that maybe that wasn't as important as a dead body, but if a person's already dead, their life can't get any worse, okay? Meanwhile, I'm a living human that is being bothered by this obnoxious man who not only is begging money from people, but when I was complaining about him, then he started yelling disgusting pornographic things about me. Starting off with that I have a disgusting hairy back that I need to shave. First of all, let me set this for you. It was after dark. It was about, 59 degrees. It was windy. I don't think anybody would be even wearing any kind of beach attire, all right, to know that their back is hairy. Then he said a whole bunch of nasty things about my body, and it got really, really, it was very obnoxious. And the police this time didn't do anything about it. And then he was taunting me for the fact that the police weren't coming to my assistance. And what ended up happening is I left after making a lousy $5. The guy totally cut into my attempt to support myself, okay? So I left because it just wasn't worth the hassle. And by this time, all the cops had left, aside from one car. And when I was about a block away, I flipped them the bird and I said, you know what? Your job description is to serve and protect. And the people who pay taxes, they are paying your salaries. And if you can't be bothered to protect somebody, you're going to lose respect in the eyes of a lot of people. And I kept on going. And I don't know whether they even heard me, but it gave me satisfaction at least saying it. Because last I heard, we still have a First Amendment, and this is still a free country, at least some parts of it. So I went on home, and then today I really wanted to go out earlier because we're supposed to be getting a bunch of days of rain. We were going to have anyway, and now because of this hurricane, it's going to mine its way up the coast, and we're going to get more rain. So I really don't want to be losing any more days of work than absolutely necessary. So, but I was really dreading having a run-in with this jerk. So I waited till quite later to go out. And actually, I started at the other end of the boardwalk, and I ended up seeing some people that gave me some information, and it was really important for me to hear from them. And I made my way to my typical spot, and it was it was about like 1 o'clock in the morning by this point. That's how late I got to start. And I decided to stay an hour or until I got something, and I got a small amount, and I decided there's absolutely no foot traffic, and now that the season has changed, it's really not worth it to try to be there that late. And so tomorrow, if I can deal with not getting very much sleep, if I can try to be there during the daytime, because we're supposed to get rain starting sometime in the PM tomorrow. So that means I'm probably going to try to see if I can get by on 4 hours of sleep, so that I can get a start to my day and see the people that I want to run into, and then go to my guitar spot and make some money before it starts to rain. Because it's supposed to be not only rainy and windy. It was so windy tonight, by the way, that my guitar case blew away and somebody had to catch it, and I had to end up weighing it down with my purse. And I was afraid to put the tablet on it, which I wasn't even going to bring out of the house since it seems like it's really on its last legs. But I thought in case I had a need to take a picture or something. And but again, after dark, it doesn't have a light on it, so it doesn't necessarily take the best pictures. Anyway, that's what I have to report. The harassment of street performers is real. The conflict between spangers and musicians is real. And you cannot count on the police to protect you, even if you are a woman being harassed by a dirtball man. And I suspect some kind of political correctness and civil rights stuff was involved too, because there are certain classes of people that people are just loath to confront, even when they are committing crimes. Anyway, that's what's going on in my world. Oh, and another thing, on a slightly different note, if you're coming to my town from out of town, and okay, I will be the first to say all kinds of negative things about my city, but I can talk about this town because I live here. But there are some people that only come here one summer, think they know this town because they've been here 4 months, during which time they are working off of tourists, maybe by playing guitar for them and bullshitting and saying that they wrote songs that they didn't write. And of course, the tourists don't know any different because maybe they're not familiar with the music, just like I wasn't. And then you go and diss this town and say how terrible it is. Meanwhile, you certainly made your money here. Kind of low class, if you ask me. And the kind of people that talk like that are the people that claim to be high class. Go figure. All right, that's all I have to say for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel and you haven't yet, subscribe. Hit the bell so it looks like it's ringing. You won't miss anything, and I will talk to you in a couple of days. Bye.